All right, so an isosceles triangle has at least two congruent sides. The perimeter is at most 12 inches. Okay, so each length of the two congruent sides is 5 inches. So 5 inches plus 5 inches, that looks like a S, plus S is less than or equal to 12. So that's 10 plus S is less than or equal to 12. So you subtract 10 from both sides, and S is less than or equal to 2. But it has to be greater than 0. Which you could write this as a compound inequality. That would have been like that. Okay? All right, so your student council rents a ballroom, blah, blah, blah. When you read it, okay, so 125 for each additional hour. So 125x plus 1,500 has to be less than or equal to 2125. And then you solve this. You get 1,500 minus 1,500. So 125x is less than or equal to 625. Divide both sides by 125. And x is less than or equal to 5. You had 3 hours to start off with, so the maximum number of hours is a total of 8 hours because you had a 13 or 1,500 for 3 hours already. Okay? Next one. All right, so 8x, tutoring for 8 hours per day, walking dogs 7.50y, and that is at least 115. You have 15 hours available for each day, which is technically an x plus y is equal to 15. So what I am going to do is, because it's weird with this inequality, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use substitution. So y is equal to 15 minus x. And I'm going to plug this in for this y here. So 8x plus 7.5, 15 minus x is less than 115. So I get 8x plus, I'm going to change this into an improper fraction. So 14 and a half is the same thing as, sorry, not 14 and a half, just kidding. 7 and a half is the same thing as 15 halves. So 15 halves times 15 is 225 over 2 minus 15 over 2 is less than 115. Okay, so what that does is that makes it 16 over 2x minus, I lost my x, okay, minus 15 over 2x plus 225 over 2 is less than 115. So that gives me 1/2 x plus 225 over 2 less than 115. You're going to subtract both sides by 225 over 2. So 115 times 2 is 230. So then you get, 1/2 x is less than 230 minus, just kidding, 225 all over 2. So you get 1/2 x is less than 5 halves. Multiply both sides by 2, and you get x is less than 5. So you have 5, and that's the value of x. So here with this equation, if I have 5 in for x, then that makes y equal to 10. So you can spend 10 hours walking the dog. And all of these were just compound inequalities. So you have a sedentary person, so 0 less than x less than or equal to 2200. And you just had 0, 2200, close the dot all the way over. And so you do have to do the other two, the moderately and also the active one. And that is it for this section.